Teammates webcam.
I like the ears. Those are great. Everybody's just getting ready to get into this game, and you know, hopefully on the side of EXTREMUM, they want to grab themselves a game, make this into a full 3-game series. But Team Spirit, I'm sure, is like, come on, guys, we had a great game number 1. Let's learn from those mistakes and let's capitalize on them. Make this a quick 2-0. So.
What I kind of like about the AM in this Batrider situation is that Spirit wants to be able to play off map and potentially ganking that mid lane, or maybe even rotating all the way up to top if that lane starts getting difficult. And Animage is really good at being able to pressure the Batrider in that regard. He doesn't have like the greatest support to do it, because Paralyzing Cast just isn't that strong of a disable unless you get lucky. But the fact that you can be CSing, the support wraps around. They have some sort of knowledge like, oh, Spirit's going for the power rune right now, or Spirit just showed himself top. They wrap around, they can just jump on the Batrider, and maybe they don't actually have the power to kill him. I guess it'll all just kind of depend on the levels of Maledict and how well they do in the first 2 or 3 minutes. But they can at least kind of force him out of lane continuously.
Yeah, I would like to see more pressure coming out from the position 4s here if possible. Just, you know, we saw in game number 1, it was basically a 1v1 the entire time. Just both of those mids just sitting there. They didn't have any problems. Just kind of a boring start to the game, which was, again, very surprising to me, this being the CIS region. But
yeah, I definitely feel like the Cast Knight lane, I've played it a couple times. I've played against it so many times. And
It's very NA.
It is incredibly NA. And it is one of those, like, you have to have a good lane. If you don't have a good lane, this hero doesn't have any farming mechanisms to get back into it. And even if you did have good farming mechanisms, like a lot of people would go Midas, you can't take up very much space because ultimately you're still a 3.
So I think that was... okay, I was going to say that's sportsmanship because I thought EXTREMUM was lending pause time. But I think that they just need the pause now. So we have a reconnect by So Bad on the Wisp, but now EXTREMUM AFK, and
we're ready to go.
Let's go. Dota2.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Well, that's a ward.
Yep, and that's going to be a D ward. And even going for the denial over here, too.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe he likes the way it sounds.
They know it's there, right?
Yeah, but they're leaving the ops there, too. I don't know. Or the sentry, rather.
The battle begins.
Wait, did they drop 2 sentries by accident?
No. They had a ward up there.
They had the ward up there originally. That's how they saw that he
saw the ward.
dropped the other ward.
And the only way they know that the enemy team knows that the only way they would see that ward is if they have a ward there. Does that make sense to you?
Roundabout. Reminds me of the explanation in The Princess Bride, personally, but...
Okay, I get it. Nice block. This is actually a matchup where the block matters. Puck on his own hill is feeling a lot happier, but Ember, I think, got the biggest buff by the map changes, if you consider just like how little space there is for Puck to play around. So this is like the only way Puck gets really far ahead is with a really sick block, and oh my god,
yeah, he's taking so much damage already. That feels very bad.
Yeah, he doesn't have a salve yet either. Not even coming out on the courier.
Poshka doing what Poshka things down here, just trying to mess with 2 as much as possible. He's gonna get rolled into, but...
Nice, he blocks the easy camp. Drag it away from the hard camp. Poshka will be unable to respond. Good job.
I like them. Poshka with Maledict, knowing that it's a lane that...
Whoa.
Oh, Toronto Tokyo? Did he get a little bit too overzealous here? Nope.
Yeah, he went for the kill with the level 2 silence, but Mello has the Fairy Fire. And get that close up.
Look at that focus. I love it. That is a man who is determined.
Thou shalt not kill me.
The
thing is, I don't know if I agree with pulling a creep wave against an AM in a spot. Wait, okay.
There it is. There's the first blood. I told you, Mellow Jewel, he was like, man, I couldn't play that first game. I'm hungry. I want to prove myself here in the DPC. And gets the first blood there. And we get another pause. Oh, dear.
Another one.
This is feeling like SA Dota all of a sudden, boys. I feel like I'm back in my my region.
Yes.
Pauses, I gotta say, while they might frustrate us as viewers and commentators, they are even more annoying as a player. My least favorite opponent was always Ritsu, because without fail, every single game, we would pause, and he would take a bathroom break.
I remember that. I remember
Every
PPD used to get
game.
so angry whenever they play
yeah,
against Ritsu because he was like, "You should go before."
Just go pee during the draft. Like, ugh. Drove me nuts. And nothing you can do about it, but it's why I'm glad, and I think this was, I want to say around TI 4 or 5, there was discussion about whether or not timeouts would be allowed in Dota. And I'm glad that they were not, because outside of the rare puppy paws here and there, I think that Counter-Strike has a break in the game. It's natural. You can have an extended break to discuss more, but Dota 2, I think a big part of what makes top teams so good is that they make these decisions on the fly. It is really hard to play Dota with Fog of War, with all these objectives in play, death timers ticking down. I think that it would be at least twice as easy to be a captain if you could pause twice a game for a minute and just chat it out with the team.
I mean, you could have just stopped that sentence actually with just, "It is really hard to play Dota," just period.
Oh, yeah.
But when you get up to this level, especially, you've got to be thinking so fast on your feet, which is one of the reasons that we really appreciate these plays that happen, because they are so just even muscle memory almost in a sense, and also the fact that you really just have to trust in your teammates to say, especially if you're a mid player, it's go time. You're just you have to believe in your mid player and just follow blindly, because if you wait a split second, that could throw everything off.
Better to have everybody with a bad plan, versus two perfect plans that you can't make up your minds about. And G is back, so hopefully we'll get underway shortly.
You guys think Maposhka's dead? I think he might be. Your spirit popped a healing salve, and he's gonna run at Maposhka
Nah, he's
while
fine.
this creep wave's happening.
There's no Orb of Venom, or I'd say perhaps.
But I think Chu's making the right decision where you just run at him, because he doesn't want to have to TP out. But if he sticks around too long, then another stun is going to be up.
2 Fairy Fires, a stick, tangos. You chase him, but you can't leave Bat against AM alone. That is very unfavorable, considering it's already 9-2 versus a 3-0. In many ways, Spirit are already feeling, even with mid dying, you feel very happy at the moment as Team Spirit.
Feels like this offlane combo coming out from the side of Spirit really has a good feeling of how they want to be just playing against. Well,
All right.
Poshka's just hanging out in the mid lane, hoping to get the courier snipe. It's been there for a while though now.
Work.
He's hoping. Visual's also sitting pretty low here. They might actually, do they go in for this bottle? Just getting delivered. Poshka seeing the courier is going to be able to snipe that.
Okay, it worked.
But the bottle already getting delivered, so.
Is that worth it, though? 200 gold? Consider that the... I guess actually it's fine, because AM's just free farming anyway.
AM's free farming, and if he had gotten the bottle on the way in, then Ember's game's ruined.
Oh yeah, if he gets it on the way in, that's game winning.
It's like, there's a bit of risk involved to it, but the reward is so high.
Maposhka is by far one of the most sacrificial supports in the CIS region. Like, he was always playing Oracle, like no boots, 15 minutes in. I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Oh no, not like this.
Oh, it's gonna get
He just
canceled out.
wants to help out his boy. I was gonna walk back. He's like, let me bottom. He fine. I mean, look at how
He seems fine though.
Yeah.
Just being by himself, he's getting the the
he's almost
CS.
level 5.
Getting
He's 4 minutes
levels?
into the game.
It's the power of those kitty cat ears,
It's
yeah,
why I
Rose
think
been aware.
there's potential for a lot of atypical 5 positions, especially because there's so much of the laning phase that you just don't want to be in experience range. So you could literally be itty support at that point in time.
The only thing I would like to see him do more is just stack. I feel like Instania in that spot would have just said, you know what, fine. I'll trade my time for yours. I'll stack, you won't. And my carry goes Battle Fury, so Puck wouldn't even mind taking stacks if necessary. What is G's build in this lane? Is he putting 2, 1, 2? Okay. I mean, it's a pretty solid support. It's near impossible to trade with the DP. I like that he goes that early null. Level 3, he has 71 damage and 2 drains. So you just can't trade with the man. They're still losing the lane, unfortunately, but that's just the power of IOCK.
Yeah, I definitely feel bad for the Wraith King sitting behind on the CS. And he's just, I feel like poor Nefert has had such a difficult time, especially in game number 1, right, when he was on that Ursa, because he wasn't able to do a whole heck of a lot, wasn't able to get close enough to the creeps. Granted, he's got a little bit better of a chance this time around, but he's still struggling.
This is the dream for an Animage. He's getting bonus CS, free XP. That finally has some mana, but you just aren't going to kill an AM unless he makes a critical error here. And I don't see Yatoro making one of those anytime soon. Still level 1 on Maposhka, my boy. Hits 2 at 5 minutes in. That's a true support player right there.
Radiant's courier has been
Remember, there's a bootless bottom here. Both of them losing their boots. Choose just no shoes for you today. But otherwise, you know, Yatoro's having a great time.
I like the item build. And Uv is really nice against the Bat Rider. It just means that your aggro blinks are always going to be effective. You can stick to him. Finishes the wand. He's going to finish treads as well before going any pieces of the Battle Fury. Something a lot of inexperienced carries don't do. You want to invest early. Basically, buy as many build. Oh, hang on.
Ooh,
Dead.
the roll in and
Nice kill. Well played by G. But you want to buy enough items to ensure you can keep dominating the lane. You don't want to buy too many, but enough build up to ensure you're going to crush. And he's doing just that. And pretty soon, Maposhka will be able to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And his AM will be just fine. 2 levels advantage, AM versus Bat at the moment. Now just take that XP.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Maposhka, leave him alone.
Tower is under attack.
doing a little bit of hunting over here. And the pressure's over on the mid tower with that double damage run on Melojo. Looks like they're going to try to punish Maposhka.
No.
Remnant coming forward. They've found him easily, and they're going to just let Melojo clean up.
I don't speak Russian, but I can read Maposhka's lips there. He says, they kill me. Whatever, man. Fives love dying like that.
He's making space for the anti-mage again. Turns back around, though, over here on that position 5 Death Prophet. She did have the Fairy Fire. Siphon does save her, but that was a lot of damage pumped out very, very quickly.
The only
Whenever I find that I don't have a position to play in this game, like Maposhka does, I think one of my favorite things to do for, like, basically starting at, like, 5 minutes is rotate into the other side of the map, play for bounties, and play to enter the enemy safe lane. Because this Earth Spirit doesn't really want to move out of his kind of zone that he's comfortable just roaming back and forth. And I think it catches a lot of people off guard. Because who the hell rotates as a 5 position that early, you know? Plus, it puts you in a position to quickly access triangle, which is probably your best stacking opportunity.
I think even sitting behind middle would have been nice. I like the Falcon Blade on the Ember. You utilize, like, you love having the HP, the mana gen, a little bit of bonus damage, never a bad thing. But Toronto is having a rough time, and I would have liked him to just play behind. Bait those dives, get an aggro coil off. Because this rune control is going to be real annoying to deal with. And Ember Spirit of Mellow, he's pretty much responsible to win this game for a squad at this point.
Nefrit getting a little cheeky here. Reality Rift going to drag back Nefrit into the arms of Collapse, but they do rotate Chu here, so Collapse needs to be a bit careful. Maybe he has gone a bit too far because the TP does get cancelled with the roll. Spirit Siphon, silence to boot. He's just trying to hit people, trying to go out here with a little bit more damage, and he does fall.
And Nefrit didn't have ulti there. He had skilled an extra point in his skeletons instead, so he's a little spooked.
Yeah, how did he know?
I don't know if he did.
Because that play looks like total suicide. I feel like the Death Prophet was showing. You just as easily could have gone for the Death Prophet rather than the Wraith King. Because
I think he jumped on the Io, and maybe it was just the knee-jerk reaction of, like, protect Io, and then he's like, oh, maybe we can, and just perhaps went too far with it. I don't know. Puck, silence, roll on in with the Spirit Siphon. This is looking like a dead Toronto.
That's exactly what I mean. Maposhka can just be sitting in those trees. Because currently he's just kind of running in circles through his own jungle. Yeah, you got to stack off, sure, but just sit there. It's the only play you can make in this game as EXTREMUM is to keep ganking mid.
Yeah, they know exactly. Well, maybe not exactly, but they know Miposhka's in the general area here. Thanks to that ward being placed over on the side. They also have some tabs on the IO as well.
Yeah, Toro's got to be telling his team, guys, can we just chill out? I got a Possessed Mask, the ideal tier 1 item. Get some lifesteal and some agi. I'm farming a Battle Fury for free. Please, just chill.
That item's actually so insane.
Yeah, it's busted.
Source of lifesteal for free for so many
At 7
carries.
minutes.
There's like a lot of other heroes like Pango, for
Slark.
example, are dramatically different with that.
Yeah, it's just so important nowadays to stay on map at all times that these forms of free sustain where, let's say you get a kill or shove someone out of lane, you don't have to buy regen, you just stay on map. It's just so good. Is this a lasso? Nope.
No, he's out. He's out, but Melojul is not, as they finally get themselves a revenge kill over in the mid lane, and this is looking like it's turning into a tower push here, so.
There's nothing you can do once you get coiled in that spot. It's a Wisp CK. It's just so much damage.
And I love the fact they timed that rotation with the Siege Wagon.
Yep.
So
Efficient Dota.
Team Spirit's playing solid. And this is the same issue we saw in the last game from EXTREMUM, where, you know, I like their draft, but, you know, the Ember is the guy you got to be playing around. Like, you need to be making moves here. You have this huge edge. Why is it Spirit making a move with the Catapult Wave and not you? Where, yeah, where's the Spirit? Another Midas into Radiance from Nefrit just seems to be the build nowadays. Or is he? No, he's actually going to skip the Midas and just rush the Relic, it appears, or we would have bought it already. Just the casual Glove of Haste. It's real value in terms of your farm speed. You have the slot, so why not?
Got the Boots of Travel up and running here on the bat. Hoping maybe they can grab Miposhka here. G's also in position. Top lane, the TP's out though. There's the lasso, and down goes Miposhka. And the Dream Coil gets used by Toronto Tokyo. He's just having such a difficult game as they get yet another kill on him.
That was what I wish they had done at 10 minutes, because their mid tower would still be alive. They're going to make the first move, but you can see how easy that was to succeed. Like, you have Earth Spirit, you have Ember Spirit, Lasso's available. Maybe they're just waiting for the bots, but this is the EXTREMUM bread and butter here. You don't even need tower damage outside of the DP ultimate. Your Wraith King is huge, and you are somewhat on a clock, because this AM will start to pick up.
I mean, he's had such a great lane for himself, too. Look at this. He's
Battle
top of the net
Fury.
worth right now. He's got an IO to buff him.
12-minute Battle Fury is, or 12:30, I suppose. Very good timing. Especially with all the build-up he's got. I'm sure that's ahead of the patch average.
And there it is. I feel like you've got to be a little bit worried if you're EXTREMUM. It's because we've seen how this guy, you know, yes, we're questioning, you know, a little bit on the way that he picked up items, right? Because it seemed like he was being a little conservative with that halberd pickup. But, you know, all of a sudden he just shows up and he's a beast.
Yep.
An
I
absolute
just
force of nature.
I really wish Miposhka had gotten a little more done in this game. Like, he could have at least gotten a counter kill on mid, and I really wanted to see those Ancients stacked by now. Even just a triple is real nice as a cash infusion. The faster you get the Yasha, the faster you continue to accelerate. And especially with the Possessed Mask, again, like, you don't really need too much help either to stay on map and farm stacks.
that's the hard part about Dota, right? It's like I know exactly Miposhka's feelings on this game because like I've been there so many times where when it's an active lane and you know like, oh, the traditional things, babysit, when to pull, those sort of things. But when in this current meta of like this meta and the previous patch as well, where all of a sudden this foreign concept of the carry says, I don't want you in lane.
Yep.
I want experience, you know? Just feed me a salve every once in a while. You're like, what do I do?
This poor guy. There's just nothing for him to do. Like, he has no purpose or place in this game. So I don't mean to even flame him necessarily, because it really takes an experienced player to, a very experienced player to recognize, like, I have nothing to do in this game except help my allies. So I will not die. If I do die, it will be to break a smoke, and I will stack camps.
Yeah.
Because other than that, you're a Witch Doctor 5, you can't kill anybody, you die to any spirit, it's just a rough spot.
Yeah, I don't feel like where he's dying is the spot where he's positioning himself between the enemy team and his like carry or his mid or something like that, right? Like he's not being a barrier of entry or something like that, and he's sacrificed so his core doesn't get ganked. I don't feel like that's at all. I feel like he's just kind of like aimless running around.
Nice TP from Collapse. This is just such an odd game. I mean, still relatively even at a 9-1 score. But Spirit have no incentive to really make any moves. They're going to make a smoke play.
And they know exactly where they are.
But what is this?
And they're hoping to take one of them out at the very least. And that's going to be the coil snapping, followed up with the coconut near the tank here. It's going to be enough damage to take down the Bat Rider. But Toronto Tokyo probably needs a little bit of help. And it's there. You've got Collapse making his way over with that Chaos Bolt. Eventually land, you know?
Under attack.
Yeah. It's not bad. I just wish they hadn't smoked for it. Look at all the sentries. You're pretty sure there's no vision in the area. And smoke is pretty critical when you're running this sort of lineup.
God, this anti-mage has not been bothered at all.
This game is what we call just straight vibes. I can hear Arteezy's stream music in my head as I watch this game.
Good, keep it in your head. We don't want to get DMCA'd. Radiance is now completed for the Wraith King. It does have that going for him, but again, this anti-mage, it's just a war of the farm, and Jethro is pretty far ahead.
Ooh,
This
okay.
is
Looks like
coming
we
back
have
here.
to relocate out, right?
Not a place you want to be. Maposhka's going to die again. I can feel it.
It's looking like So Bad possibly is going to be the first one to go down here. Collapse, though, being held in place, has the silence. And they're just going to try running out, and the catch is just not there. That is one problem with this draft, as Yatoro in the top lane just going to town on these creeps, and he's going to put some damage on that tier 2 tower. You do have the Ghost over here coming out from G, but they fortify. Nefrit, very forward here. Exorcism. Still got a little time, but
I mean, Yatoro's just, again, just straight vibes. He's not coming to, like, he's just like, you guys have fun. Like, you got that, right? I'll cut mid-wave.
The roll forward here. A little bit off the mark here from 2, but they find Maposhka. So this is looking like a dead Witch Doctor yet again. The Io was their next target as they go when they group up. 3 people to take down the little Io in Toronto Tokyo, who's just trying to stay alive in the back.
What are they doing? I mean,
Why are we going on Wraith King?
Collapse had run towards mid. Like, that was just the puck and the 2 supports. And, I mean, lack of catch really isn't a problem for Extremum. They have Earth and Ember Spirit. They're just going to dive you, like, no problems. And that's a great tower pickup, too, because that opens up the outpost. You already have 2 very underleveled supports in the Witch Doctor Wisp. Now you remove that that little steroid of knowledge coming in at the 10-minute marks.
I do really like the decision-making of Extremum to force that decision, force some kind of decision-making from Spirit, right? Do we bring the Animage to defend this tier 2 to make sure it doesn't go down before 20?
The outpost.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Deep breaths.
They got
now.
time. They got time. They can get back in there.
There's a lot of heroes over here, and they'll find themselves a quick pick-off over here on the Bat Rider, but they follow up yet again. The slime's being tossed out with that Magnetized. Maposhka will go down yet again. Collapse now running for his life, but they have those remnants up. Gets that slight. Throws out a stun as well. Collapse trying to armlet toggle the best that he can. Nefrit hot on his heels, though, and burning him down with that Radiance. It's going to be Melojewel, though, who finishes him off. And now Toronto Tokyo, he is left alone here to fight it out here with Chu, but decides that he probably should be getting out of the neighborhood right now.
I can appreciate that, though. They didn't take the outpost because they were so focused on their next play, which was just sweeping back up to the top lane because they feel very strong. They have this Radiance timing. They want to take any fight they can, and they know Spirit's going to be occupying top.
Is the chase after the puck as he finds himself a kill on Chu, but his greed ends up coming to bite him in the butt. Yeah, Toronto Tokyo.
Salt in the wound.
Perhaps a little too greedy there.
Still anybody's game, though. I mean, Wraith King is huge. I'm curious to see how the AM matches up. You know, you've got to be confident in the matchup. You knew you picked it for a reason. But I will say I'm a fan of Nefrit's build. No Midas, expand, or rather accelerate the timing, because Radiance AC, you are so strong. And the real threat from Spirit at the moment, until AM has a couple more slots, is going to be that CK.
Yeah, traditionally the AM versus Wraith King matchup was like, okay, it's Wraith King favored when he has Radiance, but then the AM's going to hit his timing before 20 on Wraith King, and you're just going to like run at the hero, and you've got so much physical damage, you can really threaten the AM. It feels like the Wraith King now with the Aether Shot can just kind of like challenge AM at almost all stages of the game.
And they're waiting
Nice
for
sounds.
the Ember to come right back up again. They follow up with the Silence. Already burned that Aegis. Get the Coconut bounce. Still probably going to tick down here.
XD.
Trying to buy himself some time, but not going to be able to. Yeah, the XD coming out from Toronto Tokyo. I'm sure he's had enough of being tipped constantly. And Yatoro getting pretty hungry here, looking for anyone else that he could possibly grab or just, you know, hit some creeps.
It's a huge kill. I mean, that was Aegis and the Ember, like, just caught off guard. That's a big miscue. Gives away the tier 2. They did not gain control of the bottom outpost, Cap.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower has
I
fallen.
bet your Team Secret gets control of top once this tower dies.
Under attack.
Probably the first thing. Okay.
Got the Blink picked up now for the CK, and a double damage rune is available on the bottom.
Is it just that outposts don't matter?
I don't know.
Do they need to be tweaked?
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't think the experience is that impactful, but like, why not? It forces a move out of the enemy, right? They're gonna try and take their own outpost. Very often, that's actually a good way to find a advantageous team fight. Is if you take that outpost, it's still up by 1930. You just play around that area. They're gonna smoke into you most likely.
It's just such a huge sustain advantage on Team Spirit right now. That's going to be the difference maker in our next engagement. Got the mech on Wisp. CK with an armlet is just so beefy.
And he does have that Blink too for the initiations as well.
Oh, he's going to make Ags. That's pretty cool. You're going to make illusions of the AM.
Yeah. Feels like that's what all the Chaos Knights have been doing, right? It's just a bit of damage. You know, get an armlet because it's super efficient. Second or third item, Aghanim Scepter for your boys.
I don't know how I feel about the Scotty on the AM. I feel like an Abyssal's safer item, but it is better if he's trying to just... Actually, I'm not sure which situations. The regen limitation's quite nice, but I'm just always a fan of Abyssal. Point and click stun trumps a slow in my book.
Ooh, this is looking like a very dead IO here with the Silence. And they'll just kick him back.
I'm going to say the answer to that question, that thought process of like, which one do you go for here, lies in what you already said. They have the sustained advantage, right?
Yeah.
So in that regard, you're less reliant on bursting people down. You kind of want to play the longer form game, right? In which Scotty kind of plays to that.
He's trying to finish it before they take this fight. Yeah, the shard up. Good call, JJ. Does not fear being oomed by the Anti-Mage.
Simultaneously, though, it still sucks being
Yeah, it does.
as a Wraith King, right? You don't have to kill the Wraith King. You could just take him out of his mana, and then he's just kind of left walking at people.
Collapse, getting jumped on immediately, followed up with Toronto Tokyo, but they're going to be able to just drag back using that lasso. And they'll take down the CK.
His team is not even there. Like, I get baiting, but you just threw away your life, and now EXTREMUM just walk high ground. Yeah, of course. He has buyback, I believe, but it's at least half damage on your tier 3 for that.
Scotty picked up now for the Anti-Mage. He's come back to join the rest of his team. A little bit early with that exorcism there, it seems. They're waiting for creeps to arrive, but...
They force them back. Roshan not an objective for some time. The AC soon to be completed, so no real rush. It's, again, just such a slow... Not a slow game. It's a chess match. I mean, both squads are just trying to limit their mistakes, really. Not too many huge moves made.
I want to take a fight if I'm Team Spirit, though. This
Oh,
first
yeah.
Scotty. Let's go.
Like, if not now, when? Right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you strong as AM, if not now? And yeah, they make the smoke. Phantasm's up, level 12 on the CK. Bait Yatoro, go make moves.
It's go time.
Yeah, like AC is scary on the Wraith King, but I feel like the real pinnacle of this lineup with the Wraith King versus AM is when you get Abyssal and AC.
Yeah. I can really hear the Arteezy music now.
Rest of the team on the side of EXTREMUM just sitting far behind Nefrit.
We'll say I think the AC timing is a little stronger than the AM Scotty. It's a 10 armor swing versus haha, I've slowed you.
What are they doing with the smoke though? They ended up doing nothing.
Well, they got a deep ward mid. It's not bad, but they just don't feel confident taking a fight. It's similar to the previous game, though the shoe is on another foot. You can't bypass the Wraith King to get the value targets if he's the only one showing on map. And
EXTREMUM also read the move, right?
There's a second smoke now. They're making their way over to the mid lane. They know the Wraith King was just there. They just spotted him. Looks like they're going to be able to go and find the Bat Rider first. BKB comes out, though. He's just going to try to run away. Big silence being tossed out by that Death Prop, followed up with the stun from the Wraith King. Also getting stunned right back up again. The Phantoms is going to come out here as the IO trying to stay alive is going to pop. G also to fall, though, and they put a lot of damage over onto the Wraith King. He's going to definitely have to use that reincarnation as she's running away from Yatoro. We're on the side, Witch Doctor using the Voodoo Restoration, but down goes Chu.
Oh my god.
Jump forward again here. That's a big crit, and down goes Sashlo.
Buyback.
And the roll forward again. We did get the buyback coming out. Collapse, and Io just Io doing the best he can to try to keep him alive. He's not going to be able to. Roll forward again over onto Io. Now it's onto Tokyo. He's trying to buy himself a little bit more time here because his anti-mage is already left. But he is just taking too much damage with that silence. Down he goes.
That fight goes a little bit better. Yaturo's got to be more disciplined with his Manta uses. He just popped both for damage at suboptimal times and immediately got rooted. Against Ember, Earth, Spirit, like all these silences, Manta, yes, you want to use it offensively, but as a concept, the dispel on yourself into the ability to keep your main hero dealing damage is going to be more value than just getting those extra hits off with the Manta, especially when you're jumping into a 5-man engage like that. Happened twice to him there.
I was curious how you looked at the Scotty in that fight, because I felt like the Scotty really showed its strength in there, even if like they ended up winning that fight because of buybacks and such. But
yeah, it's odd. Like Bat had a BKB there. That's the guy you don't. That's of all heroes other than Wraith King. You really don't want to go for the Bat either. The Puck Ags though, that'll change this game because all of a sudden Ember and Bat are just food for this AM. And yeah, that'll be the next item upcoming as expected. That's the huge timing for Spirit. If they get Ags, CK, Ags, Puck, like they're actually just unstoppable in a team fight. Unless this Wraith King is got a Giant's Ring or something, I don't know. I don't think those spawn yet.
That'll be a while, if ever.
Dire's bottom tower is
Yatoro
under
just
attack.
farming up again. Trying to be where his team isn't currently. Just trying to find that farm as the rest of the team grouped up pretty tightly here in this top lane, as is the side of EXTREMUM, though.
It's such a chill anti-mage game. He's just hanging out.
Feels like he's playing his own game right now, honestly.
Scanning. Dire are scanning.
This feels like everybody's trying to chill and get that next item, especially now with the neutral items getting found. Good old tier 3's Maposhka.
Maposhka.
Does he break?
Not like this.
I mean, if someone's going to get caught by the smoke, this is the one you want, though, right? If you're Team Spirit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ashla, yeah, they see Maposhka. Glimmer Cape comes out. Gets taken out by the IO. He's like, man.
I got you, bro. Are you going to fight here is the question, or did you just trade a Wisp for a Witch Doctor?
That is a question. Maposhka is standing nearby, hoping maybe to help the IO tether out. But doesn't look like he's going to be able to here as he hangs out by the tower. Maposhka still goes down anyways. Oh, no. But while this is going on, look at this, Yatoro.
What was the point?
In space, Maposhka was going to die, but this way, we've got more space. That's an extra 15 seconds for Yatoro. That's my man. The sacrificial lamb.
The Roche coming up right when Puck walks into the pit. I think they have a courier in there, though, too, so
Has been killed.
definitely aware that this is going to be the next big fight.
Cloak of Flames. Very exciting.
It's a happy Wraith King for sure.
Orb of Destruction for the AM. That is so sick with the Scotty already.
Yeah.
That's the perfect item. I mean, the Titan Silver wasn't bad, but I actually think that the Orb is the only thing that's better. Oh, they might... Okay, leave it on the CK. I like that, too. Just more raw physical damage at the moment. And Silver... Is it Sliver or Silver? Titan Sliver.
It's a Sliver.
That is the item. And now the Abyssal, it's go time. You are so strong on Yatoro. 5-man smoke. They're under the ward. You can go on anybody right now and pop them with the CK blinking as well. Phantasm pre, like it.
I'll use those illusions, trying to bait.
Just want to find anybody, but except for that guy.
Ward gets dropped too. I'm sure they're watching. A couple of these pings, you can see that they want to get aggressive here, but again, like you said, this is not the guy you want.
I just wish they'd wrap. That smoke is real easy.
They are.
Yeah.
They're rapping. They're listening to you.
The smoke's gone though. Like if they smoke, I would have loved to see them smoke through top lane and just collapse towards the mid tower at their ward, because you're either chasing them into your vision or you're finding enemy heroes. A battle for the outpost. 6 seconds.
There it is. There's the BKB Blink Bat with spider legs dragging back, and there is no IO that will be in this fight. Yatoro maybe a little greedy here as he goes and just hits up another creep camp. Runes are up. Toronto Tokyo was hiding over onto the side. There's the silence. Collapse, looking like he wants to make some plays. They'll drop the Dream Coil, hoping maybe they can take Chu out, but Collapse, he's taking so much damage here, and they do have that dust. They can see the CK, so down he goes. Toro not hard committing on this fight. Put a little bit of damage out in the background, but...
He didn't get to kill in the Ember. He was a little...
Oh no, Toronto Tokyo! Again, very greedy. Is not looking like he's going to survive this. Man, this has been a rough game.
It's like, it feels like Spirit are playing like they're further behind than they are, because they're not behind. It just feels this way because you're down 24-8 on kills. But they're in a pretty commanding position. Yatoro, once again, I think he just misplayed. His blinks were a little off, and the Abyssal came out, or rather the ult came out a couple hits too early. And he should have been able to 100-0 the Ember there, but unfortunately was unsuccessful. I'm just, like that was they were ready. They had a ward that was fading. It's gone now in that mid lane. And again, if they just smoke around and look for a fight as 5, they're going to be fine. Instead, they get caught off guard, like on their own high ground. The coil solo on the Earth Spirit. Collapse just kind of waiting as the CK and getting caught. Like he has a blink dagger. You can get out of there if you wanted to. Just caught between strats.
I feel like they probably could have won this game almost by now, basically, if they had either one of the two things. Either slightly better decision making when it comes to when they're going to take team fights, when Yatoro is split pushing, and then just team fight execution and like where they're fighting, where they're smoking to. But they kind of have a problem with both right now. As a result, this game is probably a lot harder than it should have been, considering the position that they were in. Once upon a time, this puck is not getting any farm. Straight up Divine Rapier, huh?
I'm never sure when I'm being trolled when I see players cue that up in their quick buy. Though Collapse looks like he's in need of some... Yeah, that's a lot of heroes, and that is a very dead Collapse. I'm not sure what his positioning was there.
The second time in the same spot.
Oh. Coming out, but they're going to lose their tower. But you also have Yatoro just full-on split pushing. They'll hold the fortifications.
I think they're too obsessed with this idea of Yatoro taking the enemy base and them buying time for that.
Well, hang on. I mean, they're winning the race.
Yeah,
There's
the
no
Ember's
glyph.
here. Okay, they're going to TP back the Death Prophet too. Oh, the jump forward, though. Blink over onto the Ember. It's going to turn around, just absolutely start shredding.
Okay, okay.
And that's going to follow up with Toronto Tokyo just joining on the fight. That is the Aegis down. That's the second time that December Spirit has lost an Aegis to just sort of a pick-off here. There's the BKB. Have to slide away, and there's just these weird fights going out. They're all just full-on split pushing.
Now.
And now they're kicking. Yeah, they've got Maposhka. Down he goes again. Collapse, trying to find this opening. We'll be able to go land the stun over onto Chu. Sashlo with that BKB. They'll take down Chu. Can they finish off Sashlo is the question. The BKB not doing too much. It's just delaying the inevitable as he gets dragged right back in again. And Yatoro's on a killing spree. He's right back up top too with this IO. This is some highly efficient Dota now. When you consider he went home, got himself a kill, and then came right back and said, yeah, I'm gonna hit these buildings, hit these creeps. And you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen them use the relocate like that.
That was sick. That was like near flawless play. They were 4-on-5 and they come out ahead. And now they threaten another push.
Yeah,
buyback.
just imagine if it doesn't start with Chaos Knight like needlessly
Yeah,
dying
right?
in the mid lane because he's like, I gotta stop these people from going anywhere.
Yeah, this
How
sustain is a big
to
issue.
Tier 3.
How do you deal with them? Especially it goes up over onto the back lines, though, hoping maybe to jump onto the Io will be, of course, this Earth Spirit again. And the CK kind of duking it out. Io joining back up again, trying to help out his bro. Heals him right back up. BKBs are getting popped over on the other line, but Melojul, he's trying to find this opening, and he's just not seeming like he's going to be able to get any kills off of this. He's forced back with Nefert and G. The jump forward again with the Reality Rift. That's a dead Melojul. He is down. Does have buyback, Nefert. No mana left, of course, going against an anti-mage. Feels a little bit bad here.
Playing
Throw,
so well.
getting a nice bash off, followed up with that mana break. Can they just go for the tower, and then they follow up. They're like, all right, yeah, I guess I could go for a kill on this Wraith King. Another silence coming out. Can they do anything about this? BKB coming out from Sasha. They're waiting. They're looking. Can they grab anyone? Again, it's going to be the Io, but that's not enough.
Their Team Spirit is so quick, though. Those buybacks came out, they were gone.
Yeah.
Like, that is nuts. Like, there wasn't even anyone but the Wisp as a possibility of going down. Shout out to Yatoro. 4-0-4. 600 CS in 35 minutes, but more importantly, like, they're in and out. Like, you can kind of feel the flow. It's like watching the tide go in and out. And they get the kill, and then all of a second, boom, CK, AM back in, force the buybacks, get out. It's really well done.
Yeah, they have feasible ways to be able to pick him off with Batrider initiation, overlapping silences onto the Manta Dispel. Like, they have potential ways to be able to catch him, but he hasn't been caught once. That last team fight he played really well, where he burned out the Wraith King's mana and then immediately blinked for the Ember Spirit. You know, just only does the bare minimum he has to keep the Wraith King a non-threat.
Yeah.
This was all without the puck Ags, too, guys. He just picked up that item. This becomes so much harder now.
Yeah, because now you have a win condition locked in. Bat or Ember, get
Look
them.
at this.
Oh. Yep, that was a win right there, because Bat, Ember, no buyback, and no response to an Ag's Coil. Like, you are just going to die.
We'll go for a smoke play on the side of Extremum. It's pretty spooky stuff, though. Especially when you consider that there is no buyback on these guys.
There's the rapier.
Sad. It's go time. Claps.
Be careful.
Puck, used up, is just going to go and hop right over to the orb. Easy peasy. They've already got a fight going on. Chu having to use that Ghost Scepter already. Can they get this kill down here? Yes, the Isle's going to go down. Looks like Chu, though, on the back lines is going to get wiped up. And now Nefred is left all alone. There's a big split going on here. It's over on the back line. G also going to go down. BKBs are coming out in force, but Yatoro, he just jumps away. He blinks out, Claps popping his own BKB. It looks like they're considering going right back in again. Yes, they get the jump off here. And look at it. They just take down Melojul. No problem. No buyback on him. They're hunting. They want a little bit more. They're going to be able to get Slashless looking like. Can they get one more hit off? No, it looks like maybe he's going to be able to run away. CK chasing him down. But over here on the side, they've got the Wraith King. He's left all alone, and there's just too much damage. He's going to go down. There's no buyback. The GG gets called. They realize that they just cannot win this game too.
Wow. That was, you know, it's 28-17, and yet it feels like Team Spirit just dominated.